All right, is that any better? All right, can you hear me now? And if so, is the sound any better? No more loud noise? Okay, so it's better now. Beautiful. Oh, that's all I need to hear. Guys, it's been a crazy 24 hours on the computer tip. So all good. Very good. Thank you, Melly Mel and Joan Bradley and DC Primetime and Tony Cheek and Aubrey. And I'm going to say hi to all you guys in a minute. I'm just going to bring a short video into the stream right now. And let's do a sound check on that as well. I get part of why that is because I had myself playing in the background. All right. So let's see here. And that's not what I want to do. I want to take that off, bring this in. Doug from Adventures with Purpose did another round of interviews, and this interview excerpt is from It's a Crime and Shame. Doug reiterated some of the same things and same ideas that he has repeated throughout a few interviews, and I think it's worthwhile to pay attention to the themes, to pay attention to the things that he repeats. Doug has also brought us some new insight.
You know, it's obviously there's no exact science for how a vehicle reacts once it goes into water. Based on my experience, I can tell you that with a multiple windows open in a vehicle, it's not going to nosedive per se. It's going to take on water really quickly in like seconds. And if my experience, no, I find that extremely suspicious. I don't see there being that much time to do that. And then why would you pass up a window that's open and a window that's halfway down where she's tiny? Yeah. So for me, 100% doesn't make sense, nor does where she ended up. So what do we know? What does the public know? She texted her mom at 12:33, right? Very legibly. She didn't misspell anything. You know, she had the wherewithal, the common sense to text her mom, I'm coming home. This is a really beautiful campground, nice paved roads in and out. The road to access where she was at is a hard left turn, and it's a path, barely even a road. Once you're on this, there are huge ruts, like you're four-wheel driving it into this location. Very hard. So this isn't a wrong turn road on the way home after having too much to drink or smoke or anything like that.
Is it a boat launch? Is it a launch?
No, it's not. It's not a boat launch. But there's paths. There's little paths along this entire lake where people can go out to the edges and have get-togethers and parties and hang out or fish or do whatever it is they want to do there.
Doug talks about the recent statement released from the Nevada County Sheriff's Office and how he feels that they're trying to push people off the case. He speculates that this is to give them time to get a handle on where exactly this case is going.
Nevada County Sheriff's Department said yesterday that they're not going to make another statement until November. So what does that say? They're trying to, for one, they're trying to back everybody off. I know the autopsy's been done. There's toxicology reports that are trickling in. So they're never going to make any type of decision without an autopsy to begin with. But I think the fact that they're wanting to push, the general public off to expecting something until November says a lot about where the case is possibly going. I think they possibly suspect there's something extra, may not necessarily be able to pinpoint it, but just giving themselves a lot of time.
Now, this is the part of the interview that really got me. Doug says that it's very uncommon for them to find a vehicle underwater that has a window broken, and he speculates the window must have been broken before the vehicle entered the water.
That's not common.
It's not common.
That is not common from my experience. When I find vehicles upside down all the time and the windows aren't out, very, very soft bottom there. So when that vehicle rested, there's no way that window it happened from that floating down. That window, in my opinion, was out prior to the vehicle going in. But I mean, it's not 100%. Guess if it happened on land, if it was broken from the inside, there's not going to be much glass in there. I would say that if it happened on land, it was broken from the outside, there should be a lot of glass still in the vehicle. But I don't really know on that. I do know that CHP and the FBI that are investigating the car itself, they're going to do a good job now that they have the car.
All right, so we heard Doug talk about a few things in that short excerpt from It's a Crime and Shame. Am I saying that channel name right? And what I find important is, first of all, some information that Doug tends to repeat time and time again, at least as far as the interviews that I've heard conducted where he's opened up to the interviewer. And then a little bit of additional information he adds. Now, whether he adds that additional information just because it's something that he is now willing to share at this point, or is it because the interviewer asks a question in a certain way, comes at the topic from a different angle that sort of, excavates a little more information? I'm really not certain about that. But I just want to play for you a little bit of that I think is critical. Want to know what you think. I think you're going to agree. And then, well, I shouldn't say that. I want to know what you think. And then I want to take a look at some of the new information that came out in this video that many of you have probably heard from by now, but
where she was
computer crashes
is a hard left with all the common sense to text her mom, I'm coming home.
Okay, just a little bit back here. All right. Hold it. Let me pause that. Pick right back up. And welcome, everybody. How are you doing? Hi, RR. Hi, Nancy N. Hi, Yerna Hi, Happiness is Alone. Welcome. I'm alone a lot of the time. I find happiness and aloneness, too. Hi, Esther G. Welcome. How are you doing? Hi, Jackie 215. Welcome, 215. 215. Is that your area code? Philly area code? Philly Exchange? 215? Yeah, that's a Philly Exchange. Philly representing. Hi, Indigo Chill. Welcome. Hi, Melly Mel. Thank you very much for the feedback on the sound check. Let's see. Hi, UFC Frog. What up? I like that. Hi, Gregory Worth. How are you doing? Welcome. Nice to see you. Hi, Sharon Norris. Great to see you, darling. As always. Hi, Prolly Graf. Nice to see you as well. Welcome to Watch the Obsession live stream and chat, talking about Keily Rodni, new insight and theories. Hi, Kim Karras. How are you doing? Welcome. Hi, Tony Cheek. Nice to see you. And Aubrey. Hi, Mary. How's it going? Nice to see you as always. And Alice in a Wonderland. And I'm not going to go up any further, but hi, Jennifer Bradford. How are you? Hope you're still here. If I missed anybody, please say hello and we will shout out back to you. So I'm just going to bring that one little soundbite, about 30 seconds, back into the stream here. I just want to listen carefully. I'm sure those of you that are following the case have heard Doug make these points and reiterate them time after time, and they're important. We must surmise.
Makes sense, nor does where she ended up. So what do we know? What does the public know? She texted her mom.
Okay, right there. He says, well, let me play it through all the way.
At 12:33, right? Mm-hmm. Very legibly. She didn't misspell anything. She had the wherewithal, the common sense to text her mom, I'm coming home. This is a really beautiful campground, nice paved roads in and out. The road to access where she was at is a hard left turn, and it's a path, barely even a road. Once you're on this, there are huge ruts, like you're four-wheel driving it into this location. Very hard. So this isn't a wrong turn road on the way home after having too much. Okay, so let me just stop there. Hi, objection overruled. Future husband, Amy Ramirez, welcome. And I think those are the people that just came in. Anyone else that just came in. So just breaking down what he just said. So he starts off this statement with a critical statement of his own. At 12:33, right? Mm-hmm. Very legibly. She didn't misspell anything. Doesn't make sense, nor does where she ended up. So what do we know? What does the public know? So what do we know? What does the public know, right?
So we know that Doug and the members of AWP know more information than the general public. Of course they do. You know, they conducted the dive, the search that ultimately found Keily Rodni, her vehicle, and sadly her remains in her vehicle. So they're going to know details that they're privy to just by nature of being on that crime scene, right? But now that time has passed, that week passed during which they did not release a video that they had already announced they were going to be releasing. They did let us know that they had a couple different versions of this very well edited, smoothed out, ironed out video. And the determining factor regarding which one they were going to be releasing was, what did law enforcement release to the public? Or, you know, how much did we all know at that point? So I find it interesting that Doug says, well, you know, let's recap. You know, what do we know? What does the public know? In that statement there, in my opinion, he is creating a clear, certain, and strong divide between what he knows and what the public knows that we already know exists. But I think the fact that he outwardly states it just like that indicates to me that there's a larger divide than we might at first realize, or that he wants us to understand the stark, sharp nature of the divide between what he knows as a member of AWP and what we know as members of the public. I'd love to know what you think. Thank you. So let me keep playing that. We'll just unpack it a little bit here.
Texted her mom at 12:33, right?
Mhm.
Very legibly. She didn't misspell anything. You know, she had the wherewithal, the common sense to text her mom, "Mom, I'm coming home." You're talking. This is a really beautiful campground, nice paved roads in and out.
Okay, so although Doug brushes by this fact a little bit in this particular interview, I would be remiss to say that I have heard an interview where Doug from AWP does not make point of the fact that Keily Rodni's text message to her mother, letting her know what her ETA was or what was going on, or could she have more time, that it was very legibly written, that there were no typos, there were no grammatical errors, there were no spelling errors. I've heard him include different details along those lines. You know, and I'm paraphrasing. I don't have these quotes like right in front of me here that I'm reading from. But as I've heard him speak in different interviews on different channels. So, I mean, what does that tell you guys? Again, just in the way he accentuated the idea that there is a stark divide between what he knows and the guys from AWP know and what we know as a public. I think whether he's intentionally doing this or this is a subconscious playing out of the story for him, that this is a point that he's stuck on that leads him to believe that, in my opinion, it certainly sounds like he's one shade away from saying, guys, I really do not think that she composed those texts, or guys, she did not compose those texts, right? Jackie, 215, Philly here. I lived in Old City. I lived in South Philly. I lived in Fishtown. I love me some Philly, and I went to college there too, but I'm not going to say where because that could be a little doxy. So, hi, Turquoise. How are you? Welcome. Hi, Nelda. Welcome. How are you doing? Hi, Jamie Lee. How are you? Welcome. So happy to see you here. Hi, Tony, darling. How are you? Welcome. Yeah. So, Tony says, Sammy may not have been the last person to see her, in my opinion. Well, I think it's interesting that Sammy declares herself the last person to see Keily that night. And I mean, I am not putting any shade or blame or anything on Sammy. I just do want to be aware in this chat and in the discussion of this case in general, Sammy is a minor. And guys, I think we need to keep that in mind. I think we need to treat her as a minor. I work with teenage students and I treat them as teenagers, not as adults. There's a difference. I want to make clear there's a stark difference, as many of you know, as most all of you probably know, because if you're under 18, you go away, you shouldn't be watching here. There's a difference in the way you must treat youth as opposed to adults. they say with psychology being my background, something that is well established in psychology and that is always kept in mind when making mental diagnoses or any kind of inference or conclusion is that the human brain does not finish developing until about the age of 26. And it is that frontal part of the part of the brain that is responsible for making good decisions that needs the most development and finishes developing last, right? So let me check, see if there's so Turquoise says, Elsa said that she helped her out of the hole at 12:30ish. Now, I'm just going to make an educated guess. Are you talking about the account that I believe it was Chronicles of Olivia got from people who claimed that they were at the party, Turquoise? Is that where that's coming from? I just want to make sure I'm citing all the information we bring up here. Hi, Arla Banana. How are you? Welcome. Yeah. So, as he stated before, he has information he can't speak on. So that is, the outwardly already stated obvious fact of it. And thank you for pointing that out. I don't want to belabor the obvious, but I do think that there is a message to be heard or information that can be concluded when we listen to the facts as he knows them that Doug or other members of APW repeat time and time again. Aaron on the side of caution says Sammy is 18 years old. Thank you. All right. So Sammy's 18. Still, thank you. Because I was thinking that she was under 18. And hi, Muffy Dragon Slayer. How are you? Great to see you. Same with you, Aaron. I don't know. She's still a really young person, right? Thank you. You guys are so not. I love you guys. Thank you, Rachel Bourne. Welcome, by the way. Thank you, guys. It's been reported that Sammy is 18. You guys are on it. Thank you. Yeah, and Pride or Honesty, also known as my future husband, points out that the mind doesn't finish developing until around 35. I don't know. With the statistics that I work with from a psychology perspective, it's not necessarily a figure we work with. We work with, I guess, what can be tried and true and shown in pie graphs, DC Primetime, but that may very well be true. And we all know that there's a whole lot of maturing that is done in the human mind and behind our behaviors well after that age of 26, when they say that the brain has finished its physiological development. So let's see. So chat disagrees about Sammy. Is that what you're saying? DC Primetime? That's just, oh, no, not Olivia. Okay. So I will just try to get current on chat and figure out where that came from. Let me consult my text messages as well. Thank you. All right. Okay. So DC Primetime, who is always a great bringer of facts, says that Olivia's source is a junior, so 16 approximately. Now, remember, I wasn't able to catch up on this stuff last night because I had the great computer meltdown. So thank you for informing me of where you source that from. Elsa is not from Olivia. Okay, thank you, Turquoise. Turquoise says, children do not kill. A young boy near me killed his pregnant stepmom a few years ago. Children do kill. They do. You're right. Absolutely, they do. I guess what I'm saying, guys, is do I look at Sammy with a skeptical eye? I do. I absolutely do, for a number of reasons, and we can bring them all out. Do I also recognize that she is 18, that she's a young person, and that may, to some degree, inform how she tells her story, how she behaves, even her motivations for doing what she does, as she kind of chose herself as being the forefront or the spokesperson, let's say, for this case, I think it does. Yeah. So welcome, by the way, Natasha. And Natasha says, I mean, yeah, it was Nick's first time diving, but the concerned look on his face and the first words he spoke about what he saw, they're very compelling. Absolutely, they are. Absolutely, they are. I'm sure many of you have heard his first words. He just stated that she wasn't in the driver's seat, that she was in the back. His next statement was that he suspects foul play. I mean, and there's absolutely something to be said for that, the power of instinct, right? Hi, Muck Boys. Welcome. How are you doing? So, Probably Groff says, in my opinion, Sammy seems to be enjoying the attention a bit too much. Yeah. So let's see. Let me grab some. Hi, Maltese Cross. Welcome. Nice to see you as always. And thank you for your keen knowledge on the topics that we're talking about here. Oh, turquoise. As I was just reading that, I'm just going to bring this out. Aaron says, turquoise, I was really annoyed because your comments and chat kept getting deleted on that other channel. I saw nothing wrong with your comments other than they differ from the creator, which is nothing wrong. I invite that here. That's what we need to have. We need to have opinions that are different from the creator and other people in chat. That's the only way that we are going to start to peel away the layers of mistruth, untruth, lies, deception, and get to the core of the case, which is the truth. At the core, there are always facts. At the core, there is always truth. If you're, afraid to crack away at those things that reside outside the core of the case, that are layered on top of the truth and the facts, then you're never going to get to that center. So, yeah. So many good points I want to bring up here. So, Ara says, in my opinion, jealousy against Keily. They weren't close friends, but she's hugging her mom all the time and talking to the media, for fuck's sake, right? So, yeah. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to have a lot of things to talk about. Does anybody want to come up on panel before? Hi, Jody is cool. How are you? Welcome, darling. Nice to see you. Does anybody want to come up on panel? Hi, Princess Megan Elsa. Welcome. How are you? Because you have something you want to say or contribute, or hi, Don Hagerman. Welcome. How are you doing? Otherwise, absolutely. Yes, we appreciate all opinions. Thank you for posting that, Joan. It's absolutely true. On this channel, if you're new to this channel, that's something you should get to know about us very quickly. We encourage a range and variety of opinions. We allow great liberty on this channel to speak your mind, because it's important that natural discourse about these crimes, about these cases, about what happened to these lives comes up to the surface, so we can look at everything for what it is. If we keep pushing things down because we want to promote our own narrative, truth will never prevail. I strongly believe that, and it is a philosophy that will always be maintained on this channel. I'm going to put the link to come up on panel in chat right now. If anybody does want to come up, you have some burning things you want to say. Okay. We might have to look at some of the Sammy material. I don't know if you guys are tired of looking at that, but there's a lot of Sammy talk here. I thought that there might be. Hi, Rachel, and thank you so much. Esther G says, I might be totally off here, but Sammy's disposition and interjection makes me really uncomfortable. I find a lot of deceitful traits. Yeah. So again, if you want to come up, you're welcome to. No pressure. I'm just going to leave that link if you have something to say. Good. DC Prime's coming up. I'll be right there, honey. So, let's see. Aaron on the side of caution says, also, the male investigator who spoke at all of the press conferences said they didn't necessarily have divers in Prosser, but they had divers in other lakes and ponds, which is nuts. Why not Prosser? I had heard that, Aaron, and so I re-listened to what was it, the 41 or 47-minute video that Adventures with Purpose released first to members and then, to the next day of the public. And I kept a copy of the original video. God pray it didn't get corrupted when my computer crashed. I haven't checked that yet. That's a valuable one. An original that's been modified quickly is always really valuable to hold on to, right? For the preservation of integrity and truth, right? It is. Just got sidetracked with that thought. So when Doug is speaking about, when he's kind of narrating, I think for the purposes of ultimately creating a video, he sounds really certain that law enforcement thoroughly searched that whole area, including the dives. So this information coming about, if it's accurate, is like very concerning, isn't it? It's got to be. So, all right, let me change this. Let me bring up DC Primetime. Hi, DC Primetime. How are you doing, friend?
Hi, Kelly, my love. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. I'm doing good.
You're looking lovely as always.
Thank you. It's been a long day. I was in a meeting 3.5 hours with attorneys today, but it's cool. Thank you. For work. So what's on your mind?
This case, everything is coming at us like 100 miles an hour. It's
It feels
hard
like
to
it.
keep up with everything. And you kind of got to glean what you can from everything coming at you like all at the same time. It's incredible. It's weird.
It is weird. It's different. It feels like, being somebody, I know that you're in the same boat who has, been, I've always followed true crime, always have, probably always will. And there's a vibe and a pacing about this case and the information that is coming out in this case that feels a little different. Is that what you're agreeing with? You're saying?
Yeah, it's like a faucet was turned on.
Yes.
And it's like, man, do I have a good enough sieve to keep track of everything that's pertinent? I don't know.
Exactly. I know.
Kelly,
What's that?
Let's try to keep up with all the pertinent information.
I know. Okay, so what's come out that you believe is most pertinent? Let's do that. Let's make a list.
All right. So I just want to kind of state that Ara introduced me to this case. I knew nothing before I was hanging out with her. And, I'm an insomniac, so I was hanging out with her in the wee hours of the morning.
Ara, one of the moderators for this channel, has a great channel. She does a lot of Watch the Obsession after parties, and she totally does her own thing independent of this channel. I suggest you go check it out if you haven't.
Yes.
Sorry, just want to plug her.
I was hanging out with Ara, just like, wow. There was so much coming at us, and she was like, DC, I need to know what you think. So I kind of was like live reacting to all of the information that she had given to me. And it was just weird. There was so much weird stuff. Ara, I don't know if you're out there, but if you can, please jump up on panel.
Ara, we want you to come up on panel. Please join us. I'm going to put the link in again. Hi, Hochi Winner. Welcome. How are you doing? Nice to see you, friend. Hi, Linda Vincent. Welcome. Welcome to Watch the Obsession, chat and discussion about Keily Rodni, new insights and theories. And here comes Ara. If somebody could drop her the link to her channel and chat, that would be absolutely amazing. I'd really appreciate it. So, hey, Ara, what's up? So tell us what the facts are. I'm making a list right now. I'm putting all the info together that we've got.
Good evening, ladies.
Good evening.
Thanks for having me here. Just
Yeah.
like if you want the most recent thing, AWP has been on everybody's panel. It's like
Yep.
AWP and Ryan Upchurch, the guy that makes fun of the true crimers, right, is on every
Yep.
true crime channel. The irony on that to me is on another level.
Detail. What is it? What does he say? What's the car that he gave them?
Yeah.
I can't think. What is it?
Uh,
I don't know. What is it? The Roadhog or something? Every time someone says his name, I just hear him being like, detail the Roadhog. It's going to AWP. You know, that little short that's been out. I don't know if you've seen that.
the Hellcat.
The Hellcat. Roadhog.
It's all the same.
Show how much I know about cars. Harley Davidson, Fat Boy. I think I was confusing one of those names with it. So I'm sorry, all of you car aficionados out there. We call it the Hellcat. Detail the Hellcat. It's going to AWP. All right, go ahead, Ara. Sorry.
No, but the most recent thing with the celebration of life thing that celebration that they had, to me, it bothered me a lot. I don't know if you saw it yet or not. It had a lot of similarities to that day of music, and in those gatherings, it's just the way that they speak of Kylie. They speak of her in the same way, in the same past tense way. Just like in that celebration of or that day of music, they're like, we're playing music so we can guide Kylie here, like almost as if they know she's gone and they're trying to get her spirit there. And that just bugged me. But then when that whole celebration of life video came out, the fact that she doesn't thank AWP, first of all, bothers me. Has not thanked them at all publicly. It's not okay. And I'm just starting to think that maybe they just didn't want her found. I mean, I know that sounds harsh, but it's just the way that they're handling. Yeah, I don't think they wanted her found.
Oops, sorry. Okay. I've definitely had those same thoughts, Ara. I've had those same impressions that pause. Sorry, I was trying to bring up the celebration of life first to check out. I've definitely personally had those same thoughts, same reflections, and same kind of curiosities that you're talking about right now. If you don't mind, please do hold that thought. Anybody who's commenting chat, please hold that thought. I'm going to get right back to it. I just want to bring up, it's just a little news clip that is talking about the celebration of life, because I don't have this on my channel and I don't want to snag anyone else's. So first we've got an ad, because it's not YouTube, who offers us ad-free fabulousness. Let me turn
YouTube
down.
Premium.
YouTube Premium, baby. Sign up.
I got no ads. It's worth it.
That's right. I know. I haven't had ads in a long time. I don't think I could go back. Once you go no ads, you can't go back, or whatever we would say. All right, here, let me just share this little clip here. Everyone hold that thought about the celebration of life and the way that it is just like rubbing some people the wrong way.
Got some thoughts, Kelly.
Yeah. All right, here we go. I think I watched it on your channel first, Ara. I think I did, yeah.
It's creepy.
Kylie Rodni. The 16-year-old's death grabbed the attention of the country as law enforcement and volunteers searched for her after she disappeared from a party in early August. KCRA 3's Michelle Bandura talked with Kylie's mother today, who says the community's love is providing her some comfort.
On a quiet hillside in Truckee, there's music. And memories of Kylie Rodni.
I feel her everywhere.
Family and friends say they feel the teen's presence.
She's not just with me, she's with all of us. And so for her to be here with all of us, yeah, she's showing up.
Kylie's mother says she wanted and needed to share her daughter's celebration of life with the community.
I'm standing because they're holding me up.
Searchers found the 16-year-old's body inside her car submerged in Prosser Lake August 21st, 2 weeks after she was last seen at a party held nearby at the popular Prosser family campground. Kylie's mother says she is at peace, but doesn't call the celebration of life closure.
There's no finish line. There's no, ending.
So this mother keeps moving while she mourns and asks the community to pray by writing thoughtful notes on colorful prayer flags now strung throughout the park.
The wind comes and it just gathers the prayers and brings them up into the heavens.
As family and friends remember how Keily lived, investigators want to know how and why she died. Now, they haven't said whether her death was an accident or was suspicious. The Nevada County Sheriff's Office is waiting on toxicology and autopsy results, which should come back in a few weeks. And the California Highway Patrol is trying to figure out how her car ended up in the lake. In Truckee, Michelle Bandur, KCRA 3 News.
Okay, just a couple of things here. I just want to say, I do just want to say that, hold it. So, and let's see. Welcome, Tammy Lynn 11. She says, so glad you're joining in the conversation in this case. Someone needs to speak up for this poor girl. I see so much of me in her and I feel terrible that all of her friends let her down and still are. So I just have to say about just my channel and my choosing to cover this case. This has been Watsy Obsession. When I started this channel, it was, I had no idea where it was going to go. The channel grew quickly, and I thank all of you guys who've supported me, especially the moderators. My God, subscribers, members, everybody. Thank you guys so much. I have been saying for the better part of a year that I want to start covering other cases, and I truly do. But it's like that impetus, that spark, that kind of passion to do so hasn't been there. As soon as I started hearing about how this case, the facts and the deception were snowballing into this ball of like fuzz that was becoming indecipherable, there was like no choice. It was like, okay, we have to look at this, because exactly what you're saying, Tammy Lynn. So thank you. I appreciate that. So what do you guys think about what we just saw or anything else?
Well, if you knew it, so they owned this lodge, right? It was this off the grid lodge. Well, the grandpa owns it. And this is where people go to get away from basically modern life. So it explains why this mother is more of this freestyle, free spirit person. However, you, Kelly, don't you think it's odd she never just says thank you, AWP?
I think it's odd. And gosh, I hate to be critical of a mom who just lost her daughter. I am shocked. I was shocked when I heard her say, I'm at peace. I've never lost a child, so I can't imagine, but everyone grieves differently.
So early on, you're at peace. I mean, I could see that maybe a year from now, 2 years from now.
There's a known process of grief. There's a known proven, I like scientific method, everything, process of grief that people go through. It's different for everybody, yes, but the process is similar. Now, that doesn't mean that there can't be aberrations from that, kind of protocol for the process of grief in the stages. It just struck me as weird. That's all I'm saying.
Unless she knew a lot earlier, something we didn't, when they were talking about that in that celebration or that day of music, that day where they were talking about her in past tense. I don't know. It's just my opinion from everything I've seen.
What do you and I see you, Joan. I'm going to bring you up in just 1 second. What do you see? What do you think, DC Prime?
I don't think the process of grief is linear. I think there's going to be ups and downs. Mm-hmm. And I feel like she was being supported by her community, but
so she was having a moment.
Yeah. But and I don't want to be critical of her. I don't. Because
as a mother, it's hard. I know
it is. But just her speech patterns were odd to me. I feel like the words kind of came off her tongue as she was like spitting them out and couldn't get them out. Like, I don't feel like she bought into what she was saying. That's just my opinion. Please don't come for me. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's my. I know. I feel that way too, and. I know DC Prime has some experience with this kind of analysis of people's behaviors. I myself am an applied behavioral analyst. That's what I do for a living. And sometimes because I look at things first I hear them as an untrained, like a visceral thing, right? And then I hear them again, according to what my training, whether, people could argue whether it's right or wrong. And then, I kind of revisit it. And sometimes I doubt myself because I'm like, am I hearing this with too clinical of an ear? But no matter how many times I listen to her speak, it turns my stomach a little bit. I feel like such a terrible person saying that, but it does. That's just.
I know what you mean, Kelly. I mean, I have a 14-year-old daughter. My oldest is 14, and I couldn't imagine what she's going through. So I give her so much credit, and to face all this social media backlash.
Yeah.
It's got to be a lot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I don't feel like she believes what she's saying. I don't want to say it, but
I know, I hear you. We're feeling the same thing. Now, Muck Boys makes an interesting point, and I think we're going to understand what he's saying here. She says, maybe doctors have her on some good stuff. The mom seems to be calm and happy now. Good for her, but something's off. Yes. Yeah. And maybe that is it. Maybe it's some good stuff.
yeah. And I would be in the exact same position. I would be begging my doctor for something if that happened to my daughter. So
yeah. What do you think on that? What do you think to that end, Ara?
I don't know. See, I can't pull that I'm a mom card. I can't.
Well, so pull it out of the I'm not a mom deck.
Well, I'm not, from just all the people that we've seen grieve over their children in different times of their death. This is really abnormal, in my opinion. And but maybe she's like that one love, peace kind of lady,
Yeah.
and
that's
she
just as I was posting. Yarniman says, much I think she is love, 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 smoking more love. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe Kylie said, yes, I knew she was too drunk to drive me home, but I left her there and I saw something happen. Maybe she confessed to the mom and the mom forgave her. And that's why there are all those photos of them hugging together as if Kylie and Sammy were actual friends.
Yeah. Well, that is interesting because, because the account of, the known friends of Kylie say that, like, Sammy isn't such a great friend, but then, I'm trying to think of this like objectively. And I can remember even myself as I was a senior going into college and I was going a different way to a lot of my friends. I did start to have different friends or different friend groups that my high school buddies may or may not have totally known about. I could see that playing out, but this total like not awareness of her is definitely strange.
I just think that sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit.
Okay.
But I think that the mom, I just send so much love to the mom, and I get where she's trying to come from, but her skepticism and her anger is bleeding through those statements. And I feel like she's angry, and I don't think that her anger is placed where it should be. And I think it's going to be a shock to her later. I
don't think she's angry at all about anything. I don't think she's angry at all.
I think she's very angry. I think it's seething anger. And I feel it like when she's speaking, like the way that she hangs on the last syllable of every sentence. It's like it's sticking to her tongue, and it's like misplaced. I don't feel like
maybe she's just angry at social media. I mean, she owns a lodge where it's designed to have people off the grid. Maybe she's just not liking the backlash. That's what she's angry about, really.
Yeah, I think that is where she's misplacing her anger. Yeah. And I get it. I mean, awful to say that her daughter didn't exist. I mean, it's just... Yeah.
I mean, Denise, and welcome, Denise, makes a good point. She says, I was just trying to keep it, maybe how I feel is she's coming off wrong to me. But Denise is a great point with maybe she was at peace at the moment. Grief is a roller coaster.
Thank you, Denise. I agree. I think it's not a linear process, and there's going to be ups and downs. And she felt really supported in that moment. But there's an underlying current of just seething anger. I think she knows in her gut that there's something wrong.
Now, Baby Bop here said, or Baby Boop, sorry, welcome Baby Boop, says, I'm so relieved to hear people sharing the same strange vibes that I've been feeling from the start. Now, this is one of the reasons that we allow a lot of liberty and range to let people say what they're feeling on this channel. It's necessary. It's what we have to do. And in doing so, it brings up something better than just repressing it all,
I have
No.
questions about, and I don't know, Kelly, if one day, or you have already talked about this, but about the whole Jagger and Kate going to Reno, when everybody else was looking at the lake. They went by themselves. They invited the news to go with them, told them about basically a makeout spot that Jagger and Kylie had. This bothers me, but took Kate. And then for a while, I was considering, I mean, is there some sort of love triangle? I even went to that weird point where I was just questioning whether even she made it to the party at all, because we still to this day have no pictures of her there or any video.
No, I'm not there. I think that she was at the party. The party was real. But I think she was alive the next day.
All right. Well, when it comes down to it, let me just bring Jennifer Bradford up on the stream. Joan, if you want to come back up, I'm sorry, I just didn't catch you at the right time, honey. And also, just really quick, Tammy, who is this? Tammy Lynn 11. Hello from across the world, by the way. And I just put my email in chat. If you would like to help with research or anything, I would just so appreciate that. So if you want to reach out to me, it's watsobsession@gmail.com. In my email, there's no it's just watsobsession@gmail.com. Welcome. So glad you're becoming part of the channel. Thank you so much. So I'm going to just bring Jennifer Bradford up really quick, see what she has to contribute. And then I'm bringing a few things up in the stream too. So hi, Jennifer Bradford. Welcome. How are you doing, honey?
Good. Hey, I just wanted to touch base just because I just had a couple things to say. I know I've been going over this with Ara and DC and whatever. And, at first I did find the mom's words kind of disconnected, but I also saw that Polynesian theme that they had going on. And I don't know what their background is, but I do know that some cultures, like for example, I have family in Fiji. They would wear luau's and sing and whatever, and that's their kind of celebration of life. It's like a culture type thing.
Exactly. Yes.
But so I kind of felt that vibe, that there was more of that going on. But I kind of feel like if there's anything that the mom, I'm kind of looking at this like, this, I think there was some cover up there. There's definitely foul play. Do I think that at this point, I don't think that anybody murdered her. Do you know what I mean? I think that it was something tragic that happened. And I think that maybe if the mom has underlying anger tones, I have to look at myself and go, what would I do? I mean, I have two girls, that are early 20s. And I mean, I would be devastated, obviously. But if somebody came to me and said, this was a horrific accident, she OD'd, or we did this because, we were scared, or we didn't know what to do.
Oh, hold it. You just, wait. I can't hear you for a moment.
Where she's angry about it, but yet at the same time, she doesn't want their future's ruined. She's lost her daughter. There's no bringing her back. Maybe she will look at this and go on to do something good with your lives. Kylie would want that,
Okay. And that's a good point about, that whole Polynesian vibe and all of that. Your audio just got a little weird, just so you know, but I think we're good. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you now. I think that's a really good point. The Polynesian, I know that there's, the rituals, and they do, there's like, all of, and just like in the way they dance, every movement has a meaning, and there are ritualistic dances to help send off a spirit in the right way. I learned that when I don't know, in some of my travels. I don't want to say the wrong place and sound stupid. So, but yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah.
I get that, Jennifer. I do. And I think that Ara was alluding to that earlier. Like maybe they came to her and they said like, hey, this is what happened. It was an accident. We didn't know what to do, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, it's not just about the mom. And I hate to say this, but she had a dad and a grandpa and a community that loved her. And when people make mistakes like this, it should be on the criminal justice system to decide what happens. I don't think it should be on the mom alone. I don't know. That's just where I'm at.
That's a good point, because here in the United States, where it is, or at one point was a melting pot of all these different cultures, all these different values, and all these different beliefs, we made a decision as a country that the best way to lead us forward was to entrust issues of justice into a justice system, because there's no way that all of these different cultures and beliefs, like, we're just talking about the Polynesian culture and the peace, love, smoky culture and the California surfer culture. There's no way that all of these different beliefs and cultures could come together and decide on one justice. So that's what we do here, and that's what has to prevail.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to just focus on the mom. That was just the last thing that came out in the news just a couple days ago, and I really wanted y'all's opinion on that.
Yeah.
She did rub me. I mean, she rubbed me the wrong way. It definitely did. I thought the whole thing did. And I thought, okay, I got to look at this from a different angle, because they don't seem to want outside involvement. And I don't know if that's just their area and they're very, private or what have you, but they are handling this completely different than what we would see in the true crime norm. There's not a lot of bitterness. They don't. It's very bizarre.
I mean, one of the quotes from her was like, "We got this," like, "Let it be," or something like that. She said, "We got this." Like, I don't remember what the exact words were.
Yeah, I mean, it was, "We got this."
And then she said, "Mind your business."
No, well, yeah, she basically said, silence is golden. Like, shut up, stop talking about it.
Yeah,
like,
she did say, "Mind your business." I was at my jaw dropped.
Yeah, these are all the things that make us raise an eyebrow. Now, Mimi Cool with 5, welcome, cool name, says, makes me sad that she spent more time celebrating the kids who left her daughter, at the least, than her own child. How will she thank them when or if they're found to be guilty of what happened? Oh my God, imagine.
Yeah, I think
she may also feel some guilt. She may feel some guilt because at the end of the day,
she slept through the night. And
yes, at the end of the day, she slept through the night and didn't know her daughter was missing until the next day. So she may have some guilt, underlying guilt there herself. Like, she feels partly responsible.
Yeah, and we saw her, begging and pleading for anybody to come forward. And it took social media to beg Adventures with Purpose to basically drop what they were doing and head out to California and try to find her. And they did. And it may not have been ideal as far as the way she was notified, but at the end of the day, they found her, and maybe she wouldn't have the answers that she needed to move on if it weren't for them. And I just kind of have a problem with her, and I can't have a problem with it because I haven't been in her shoes, right? But it just kind of rubs me the wrong way because I see both sides of it. I mean, they were just trying to do what they do and provide answers for families, and she just kind of, I don't know. It's just so hard.
It's something to consider because AWP was contacted by not the parents, but it was from extended family because AWP was already on its way to California to do other things. And so they said, hey, please stop by. And that tells me that they didn't even trust their own police department. In one day, they had already called it an abduction. They had already searched everything and didn't find her. They said she's not in the water. And then she was only 55 yards from the water. I mean, there is something really weird about that.
Yeah. Now, Aussie Girl Jen, and welcome, honey, says, yes, mother's guilt is such an awful thing. I feel for her. I do too. At the same time, I feel this kind of sentiment that Tammy Lynn is bringing out. She says, yes, she even said balance is now restored or something to that effect. I think that may have been exactly it. Someone else there even said that everything was lovely until Keily was found by AWP, and not one thank you to the people that found her. I didn't hear that last part, but
no, it wasn't. She was just a mess. She was just, my heart broke for her when she was pleading for her daughter and pleading for answers. And then once she was found, this is my speculation, and I'm kind of going with Jennifer and Ara on this. I think somebody came to her and explained what happened. I think that's what it is. And like, maybe she forgave them, but I don't know. That's just kind of my feeling right now. And I think it's a little premature for her to do that because, like, not all the facts are out yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you. Well,
And
here.
they could be telling her a version of this. They could be telling her a whitewashed version of the story too. And it may come out that the story is worse than what they have told her, and that will change her opinion completely. I mean, people aren't, if you're going to go to somebody and you're going to confess something that is horrific, you're going to try to whitewash it as much as possible.
Absolutely.
And make it, so I think that there could be that going on too. If somebody did come to her, she doesn't want to ruin their life, that type of thing, but yet it may come out that it was more heinous than what she thought or was told.
Right.
I think so.
And because even it, and I'm sure, hopefully you'd hope the people communicating the facts of her are going to know, a mother grieving at this point. If there are uncertain facts, and hi, anaphylaxis, there's only so much that she's going to be able to handle at this point. Let's turn away from the mother for just a moment. I want to take a look again at the interview that you guys had brought up with Jagger and Kate Kuno when they were chilling, looking, searching in Reno. I don't know what they were doing in Reno.
I'm gonna drop down, but I just wanted to say hi and thank you guys, and I'll be in chat listening.
Thanks for coming up, Jennifer. Always great to hear from you.
Bye, Jen.
Spot on, Jennifer.
Here
I
we
love
have
Jennifer.
Jagger and Kate Kuno, and appears.
Oh, I thought this was just from the news.
Third person off screen.
Let's see. I don't know.
Still going.
I thought this was just a news clip. Okay.
Is still going to be the.
Whoever's video this is, I'll pop it in the description. I thought it was just the video. Okay, here we go.
Here's today because I wanted to look around for myself because I haven't been here yet.
It is an interview you will only see here on Fox 40 News. The boyfriend of missing teen Keily Rodni launching his own search for her and telling us about the last time he and her friends saw her. Thanks for joining us for Fox 40 News at 5. I'm Nikki Lorenzo.
And I'm Eric Harriman. Fox 40 has live team coverage in the search for Keily. Eric Rucker is in Truckee for us this evening as a massive team of law enforcement and community members spend a fifth day trying to find her.
We're going to start with Fox 40's Arena Shaddix, who's joining us now live near Reno. And Ro, you spoke exclusively with Kylie's close friend and her boyfriend who are checking some of the locations where she spent some time. What do they have to say?
Well, Nikki and Eric, I'm standing at a location above Reno. Take a look behind me. It is absolutely gorgeous here. This is a place where Keily and her boyfriend Jagger spent many hours together. He and a close friend described her as a very smart young woman, a tough girl, and they are confident she is still alive. It's been 5 days since Kylie's boyfriend Jagger Westfall has heard from her. He says they exchanged text messages before she left for a senior farewell party at the Prosser family campground, the last place anyone so far has reported seeing her.
And so I was just like, okay, be safe. Don't do anything stupid.
He says he complained about his day and she listened.
At 10:30, she responded to what I was saying and just said, oh, I'm sorry that you're going through that. And that was the last time I heard from her.
Kylie's close friend Kate Kuno says they spent the afternoon together on Friday, just hours before she disappeared.
The day of the party, I hung out with her. We made creme brulee. Everything was normal. I don't think she made later. I would have noticed if something was slightly off.
While law enforcement, including the FBI, continue their search in and around the Prosser campground and reservoir, Jagger, Kate, and another friend went to Reno to search for themselves for Keily. Only Fox 40 News was invited to go along. Kate says they were in Reno the day before the party, and Reno is a place Jagger and Keily could go for some alone time. We followed them to a location in the hills where Jagger and Keily spent some time in the past.
I definitely feel like that in this current situation that she's safe. I don't know where she is. We don't have anything to go off of at this point, but I fully believe that she's alive and well, and I fully believe that the 2 of us, 3 of us, or other people are going to bring her home safe.
Now, Jagger, again, would like people to come forward who were there that night that may have any information that can really help in this investigation with law enforcement. He says they can stay anonymous. We will have much more for you later on tonight on this story. Reporting live in Reno, Rowena Shaddix, Fox 40 News.
Muck Boys, creme brulee is my very favorite dessert. When I go out to a restaurant, I have no freaking clue how to make it, so it's all good. All right. Yeah, I mean, so what do you think about that, Ara? Ara. I lost my girls. Okay. So that is, now the first time that, okay, DC Primetime's having internet issues. I feel you, girl. Let's see. Gregory Worth. Hi, Gregory Worth. Welcome. I think I already said hello to you. I'm going to say hello again. I actually think I have a subscriber comment from you. Nice to see you. Says, we now know that Kate and Jagger were sleeping together after Kylie's death, so one has to wonder if that was going on during the time Jagger and Kylie were an item. Wait, so did I miss something? Did we make that jump? I don't think I made that jump. I could have missed something, but, Okay. Oh, gotcha. Tammy Lynn, is this true? Creme brulee can also be teen slang for taking dabs. I know what dabs are. Oh, is that true? I had no idea. I mean, as somebody who works with teenagers every day, it's good for me to know that creme brulee can be slang for dabs. Yikes. Wow. Hi, Green Eyes. How are you doing? Okay. So saying, please don't come at me. Who just said that? Let's see. Yarnamans, why is everyone saying, please don't come at me? DC even said, is something going on I'm not missing? No, they're just saying opinions. I think that they think that the perceived audience is going to find to be like undesirable. So like, please don't come at me, Yeah. Tina Perry, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you and welcome. That's really great to hear.
Hey, Kelly, sorry about that.
Hey, no problem. So what do you think about that? And I'm going to bring up a bit of a Sammy piece too, but I just wanted to know, what are your thoughts on that? I think you're the one that may have mentioned their trip to Reno, or somebody did, but what do you think about it?
Yeah, dude, it's weird. I don't like this at all because everybody was searching at the lake and they went to Reno. They didn't ask police to go to Reno with them. They went by themselves. Heck, they called the newscast, okay? I think that's odd. I'm not sure who was at Reno. Was it all three of them? Jagger, Kate, and Kylie? They said, and then whoever went with them that day to search was like a random person that they did not say.
Right. They said like the 2 or 3 of us might find her. I didn't understand. I've been wondering about that too. I didn't know if I missed something or what.
No, dude, that's weird. And they're saying a lot. They know a lot more than they're saying. I just want to know who they're actually protecting here.
I get that vibe too.
I get real passionate about this with these kids, man. I get real mad.
I mean, I think you should get passionate about it. Well, here, let's I want to bring a little bit of the Sammy Smith interview from All American Dream Chaser. Woo! He's got a wee beginning. And I will drop that link in the description. All American Dream Chaser, thank you for conducting this great interview. Now, I don't even want to bring up the belt and the belt thing. Okay, here. I'm just going to pull this into the stream here. All right.
I asked him, I was like, how did you get this interview? He said, I just called her and she just put me in her busy day. Like it was nothing.
It was just like that. That's cool. Well, good for him. That's good. Yeah. All right. So
weird.
That's, yeah.
I thought it was weird. Sorry.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. All right. I want to pull a little bit of this in. Would you mind staying up here for a couple minutes, Ara?
Not at all. Not at all.
I've got to run out of the room for just a moment here. All right. And again, thank you, American Dream Chaser. This is the interview from American Dream Chaser's channel. He just called her up and said, yo, let's do an interview. And apparently she fit him into her day. Let's take a look.
And no adults at all, no police. Because if there's not pressure from all of those sources on these kids, that could be what could be leading them to not share information. And that's all we need right now is any information. So if there's any teens out here,
I don't like the audio on that. I'm going to move forward. This audio is very bad. Okay, bothers me.
Much. Right. I know you've been super busy, and it's an honor. It's a privilege to have you. I'm sorry for the circumstances, but I know you're super busy. You're pressed for time, so let's get to it. I know you've been repeating yourself all day, but what's the latest? Tell us who Keily Rodni is. Go ahead. I'll let you have the stage.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you, Keily.
No,
yeah.
You're welcome. I know you're super busy. I know you got to be tired. I know you've been busy.
Yeah.
I followed you at the press conference today, and I know you're a busy girl. And I just want to say I really admire what you're doing. You're amazing young lady. You're only 18 years old, right?
Yeah, I'm 18.
So it's outstanding for a young girl your age to. But anyway, nonetheless, I know you're pressed for time, and everybody's wanting to know what's the latest. What is? Well, I'll let you take it from the top. Who's Keily Rodni? Let's go back to the beginning, I guess, real quick. Just give us a rundown.
Totally. Yeah. So Keily is one of my close friends. We met through mutual friends, and we became closer in the past year to coming months recently. And she is just a light in a lot of people's lives. She's wonderful. She's smiling all the time. She's caring. She's beautiful. She's there for anybody who has ever needed her. She's very outgoing. She's outdoorsy too. She loves the water. She loves to sing. Her voice is just amazing too. And she's just a beautiful girl, and we all miss her a lot. And so,
yeah, I'm sure. You saw her at the party, right? You were at the party with her?
yes, I was the last person to contact her after the party, and I was with her basically throughout the entire party. I was
No, it's okay. It's
around
okay.
with her.
I know you got a lot going on. I
Yeah.
get it.
I'm at the teen to teen meetup, so there's a lot of kids outside.
Everybody's wanting to talk to you, and like I said, I greatly appreciate every minute I have with you. Can you take a quick look at this photo? Is this what can you confirm whether or not she was wearing this at the night of the party? Is that what she was wearing?
Yeah, so that top is exactly what I saw her in. If you can see on her left side, on her hip, you can see some skin. She was wearing a black bodysuit. I remember because we went to the bathroom together, peed in the woods together a couple of times, and so that's her shirt right there. The pants were different that she wore to the party. She was wearing green Dickies pants, but that belt is definitely what she was wearing too. I remember watching her have to take it off when we were using the restroom together. We were out using the outdoor restroom, popping squat, basically. So, yeah.
That was just released from the Placer County Sheriff's Office. This picture, I just found it on their Facebook page.
Yeah.
So there's talk about this top, the spaghetti straps top. Some people are saying it was found at the area. Can you confirm that, or is that
so that has not been confirmed. If it has not been posted on our Find Keily Rodni Instagram page or on the website or on the Placer County Sheriff's Office Facebook or anything, then it is not true, and it is not something that people should be following on or trusting. The information will be posted and will be coming from us when it is confirmed. So to let people know what to look out for, if a changed shirt or something. So yeah, that has not been confirmed.
Okay. Perfect. So at the night of the party, the last time you saw her, can you tell us about, I guess, give us a rundown of the party real quick. I understand it was a large gathering.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be a senior farewell party where all the seniors and everybody from around our area, like Tahoe and Truckee and Incline and Kings Beach, were supposed to be there. They were invited there because it was supposed to be like saying goodbye to your favorite seniors before everybody starts going off to college, because soon enough here people are going to start leaving and moving out. And so Kylie's a senior, or she graduated early, so she's considered a senior, and I was a senior, so every senior was initially invited to the party. And as well, all grades were invited just so that they could say goodbye. So I had talked with Keily, and I had known she was going beforehand. We hadn't planned on going together, and we ended up not going together. She came with her best friend Mags Larson. Magdalene, sorry, is her first name.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, and so she came with her, drove in with her, and then Mags ended up leaving about 10 minutes into the party with her boyfriend, Ross, Mags's boyfriend, and told Kylie goodbye and everything. And they were never planning on like leaving together or staying together at the party. They just went to the party together because they were hanging out earlier in the day. And then I saw her the second she got there. And from that moment on, we were pretty much seen together all around the party. We would break off for mere moments from each other to go talk to other people or to go do other things, you know, but we would always come back to each other. We were just going around the party. We were drinking the same drinks, being teenagers, throwing glow sticks into the party. And it started to grow really big. I would say around 10 to 10:30. It just blew up. Like, it started to get to the point where I was getting overwhelmed. And I'm a very social person. I've been to a lot of these parties. I've never been overwhelmed. I've actually been underwhelmed. But at this party, it was very large. Like, it was bigger than any party we've had in Truckee all year. And for a lot of years past, there were people from what we think Sacramento, San Francisco. I remember talking to somebody who was from San Francisco, Reno, Folsom, areas that were just way out of reach from it. And it was really overwhelming and weird to see, but I didn't really think much of it. I just thought, oh, kids are around here. They have vacation homes up here. They're just coming to party because why not? So then Kylie and I were going around taking shots and just drinking. We were trading drinks with each other. We were sharing drinks with each other. We would go back to her car to get some alcohol sometimes. And then we went to her car to charge her phone. And we were talking about just random stuff. And then it's kind of hard to remember. And so, or no, we were talking about her texting her mom and her charging her phone and stuff and just about the party in general. And then we had a few other friends in the car and then we all decided to go back to the party and we were around in there for a bit. I had asked her for a ride home when we were in the car because my ride was leaving and I wanted to stay at the party longer. And so then we ended up splitting up in the party because I went to go find another ride when we got back into the party after leaving the car so that we could sorry, my mind is in a moment.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I want to take a couple of questions here real quickly. Noah in the chat wants to ask you, who was fighting at the party? The girl and guy, look into them. Was there a fight at the party?
Yeah, so there were some friendly fights that were going on. There was, like, we had boxing gloves. People were, like, trying to instigate. It wasn't anybody who had really any drama or they weren't enemies or anything. It was more just friendly fights to keep entertainment going. This happens at a lot of our parties. We just do it to have fun. If somebody gets hurt, like, we have people on them, but
so it wasn't like a fight out of anger. It was just kind of a just a fun competition type of fighting.
Yeah, just see who wins and who goes home with the title, which I will candidly admit people do end up getting in fights over who won, but not this time.
Daniel Taylor, and Nola, thank you for that comment. Daniel Taylor's in the house. Daniel Taylor wants to ask you, did Kylie have her boyfriend or an ex-boyfriend with her at the party?
No, there was no ex-boyfriend there. Her ex-boyfriend lived in Napa. He was in Napa at the time, and I think he lives in Napa. And he actually drove up the next day, the second he heard that she was missing. He's very close with her family and her. There was no anything. And she does not currently have a boyfriend. She was rocking the single life, like we used to say. She just wanted to be open and single and just have fun as a kid.
I get it. She's only 16. She's just a baby. I just can't even imagine. How's mom doing? Have you talked to her mom at all?
Yeah, so I've been in close contact with the family.
How they doing? She looked just a nervous wreck. I can't even imagine what she's going through.
Yeah.
Our thoughts and prayers are with. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry. Continue. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say our thoughts and prayers are with the family. It's going to be a hard time. What can we do to help? What can the public do? The web sleuths out there. What can we do to help find Kylie? What can we do to help you?
To everyone at this point around the world, I'm hoping that this is reaching. And if anybody's seeing this, just if they can keep sharing this, get the story out to neighbors and friends and family and local news stations and local newspapers and posting flyers, making flyers, screenshotting, and somehow making flyers. We need this information to spread everywhere. We're trying to get posters everywhere, information everywhere, just trying to have everybody in the world at this point looking for Kylie and just trying to find Kylie. And if anybody sees anything, to report it immediately to the police, the Placer County Sheriff's Office, or the numbers that have been loaded on. There's been a lot of trouble and frustration with people about the tip line, but they have to understand that there's 1,000 people in there working, getting millions of calls a day now.
I know you had stated that we're not trying to create any rumors, but there was something on the Facebook page that I wanted to see if maybe you can comment on this. It says 2 days ago on the Neighbors app, at 1 o'clock in the morning, a topless female was being chased by a Honda CR-V and was pulled back into the vehicle in Sacramento, California. That's about an hour and 38 minutes away from Prosser Campground. Kylie drives the Honda CR-V. Her tank top was possibly found at the scene. I know we just discussed that. We can't verify that is true. Down the road from they're saying her tank top was found at the scene down the road from the Prosser Campground. The timestamps could be off due to a camera clock being accurate or inaccurate. But I don't know is there anything you can comment on that?
Yeah, so we are investigating into that currently, from my knowledge of the detectives, and it has not been confirmed nor denied that if that is Kylie, but we do not believe that her shirt has not been found. I can confirm that her shirt was not found, nor were any articles of her clothing at all.
Okay, I want to let's repeat that. The spaghetti strap shirt that was claimed to have been found, that was not hers.
No, it was not hers. It was investigated by the FBI and the cops and everything.
Thank you so much for clarifying that. So the spaghetti strap shirt, the top that was found, that did not belong to Kylie Rodni. Thank you for that, Sammy.
Yeah.
So I can. So now when we watched the press conference, the police were saying that they're trying to get everyone that was at that party to come forward. So should we should we get that message out as well to everybody that was at that party that they need?
Yeah.
Who do they contact?
Well, I've been not in charge, but I've taken on the responsibility of trying to get in contact with everybody at that party. I've posted teen meetups, teen to teens, where there's no adults, no parents, and no media coverage. Everybody stays anonymous, and everybody does not get, everybody is just talking teen to teen. We have interviewers, only about 7 or 8 of us, and that's the limit we're trying to keep it at, to keep the information kind of in a simple one source area that we can go to. And we've moved locations, multiple, trying to make things more convenient in the Tahoe area, in the Truckee area. We've held one last night, and then we held one tonight, and we had a lot of teens come out today and explain things. It's just a way for teens to not feel the pressure of getting in trouble by their parents, or to feel like the cops are going to get them in trouble, or to feel that the media will spread their face all over the internet. We're just trying to get teens to be honest, because kids will tell kids who they kissed, and kids will tell kids who they drank with. And
they don't want mom and dad to know what really happened at the party.
Exactly.
I totally get that, and that's good that you're doing that. Laura Truan just was in the comments. Laura Truan says you're doing a great job, Sammy. So I'm trying to think, what else can you tell us that can help? Anything specific about that car? Is there anything I don't know, maybe did the car okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so a lot of us just remember today, because again, we weren't ever really looking severely at her vehicle when we were just friends with her, but we do all remember that she has a sticker of a bull. We don't have the exact sticker, but it's a sticker of a bull that is right under the windshield wiper. Right under that is where the back windshield, the animal. It's a sticker of a bull, the animal, like a cow with horns.
Okay.
Right under the back windshield wiper. It's right under that, and her car does have hubcaps, because in a lot of these pictures, cars don't have hubcaps. Her car has Honda hubcaps.
Okay. Wow. So look for that car that has it may have a bull sticker of a bull on the back window, that 2013 Honda CR-V. It's a silver car.
And there's a sunroof as well.
And it has a sunroof. Okay, that's another good detail. So it has a sunroof and it has a bull sticker. There's a sticker of a bull, the animal, a bull, on the underneath the back.
Okay, so I just wanted to make a point about, I had made a video looking specifically at this bull sticker. So do you guys think that this is a strange detail?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, girl, you know, I had to go pay my car insurance. Thank you for holding down the fort. I forgot. I didn't want a late fee. All right, let me go back just a minute here and let's pay attention to the her making the description with the bull sticker. It was really a ram, but all right.
At their face all over the internet. We're just trying to get teens to be
Right.
honest, because kids will tell
get
kids
that.
who they kissed, and kids will tell kids who they drank with, and
They don't want mom and dad to know what really happened at the party.
Exactly.
I totally get that, and that's good that you're doing that. Laura Truan just was in the comments. Laura Truan says you're doing a great job, Sammy.
Thank you.
So I'm trying to think, what else can you tell us that can help? Anything specific about that car? Is there anything like, I don't know, maybe did the car have, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so a lot of us we weren't ever really looking severely at her vehicle when we were just friends with her, but
severely,
she has a sticker of a bull. We don't have the exact sticker, but it's a sticker of a bull that is right under the windshield wiper. Right under
picture of a
that is
bull.
where the back windshield, the animal. It's a sticker of a bull, the animal, like a cow with horns.
Okay.
Right under the back.
Okay, why does she describe it as being under the back windshield when I think we need to take a look at where this really is. What do you say, Ara?
Yeah, no, go back and look at it. And also, she says we weren't looking severely at her car whenever we were hanging out. So when did you look at severely, or what do you even mean, lady?
Here, let's finish listening to this, and we're going to take a look at it.
Windshield wiper. It's
Okay.
right under that, and her car does have hubcaps, because in a lot of these pictures, cars don't have hubcaps. Her car has Honda hubcaps.
Okay. Wow. So look for that car that has it may have a bull sticker, a sticker of a bull on the back window, that 2013 Honda CRV. It's a silver car.
And there's a sunroof as well.
And it has a sunroof. Okay, that's another good detail. So it has a sunroof and it has a bull sticker. There's a sticker of a bull, the animal, a bull.
All right, guys. So you may or may not be aware of why this is problematic, but I do actually have a video about this because, well, I obviously find it problematic. Which one was it? I think it was this. Hold on, I'm just gonna make sure. I think it was, yeah, I think it was the 6-minute video. All right, let me just check it out. Now, you guys all just heard Sammy pointing out the what she finds to be the distinguishing features on the exterior of Kylie's car. Oh gosh, this is like weird. This is the kind of thing that makes it just makes me not feel good. All right, here. I'm not sure where it is in this video, so I'm just going to start playing. It's just a short video that I put out the other day. I think it's like 2 minutes in, but I'm not totally sure, and I don't want to miss anything. So I'm going to bring it into the stream. This is weird to me. Yeah. Okay, here it is. Welcome back to what? The Obsession. So yes, we are still talking about the Kylie Rodni case, and there is a lot to talk about. And we're talking about the car, and we're talking about what we know about how the car was found and how Kylie was found. We know that Kylie was not found in the driver's seat, but she was rather found in the back. And we're not talking the back seat, we're talking the back, like the hatchback, back. We also know that there's only 8 inches of space above the back seat top of the headrest to the car's
ceiling, so to speak, that it's very unlikely, in fact, it's highly improbable that if Kylie were driving her car, as we would expect she would be, as she was the only known intended driver, according to AWP and other experts, she should have been found in the front seat or possibly in the back seat, but not in the backpack. Some subscribers who were present in my live stream the other night made me aware of some photos up that show a seatbelt is sticking out of the hatchback door. I wasn't sure at first what I thought that was, so I enhanced the footage, and I strongly believe at this point that it is a seatbelt or a security belt that is, in fact, sticking out of the hatchback door. So, why was that belt hanging out of the hatchback door? Did it just get trapped there? Or does that indicate something more terrible? Does that mean that Kylie was fastened into the back seat in order to keep her there and to stop her from floating out of the car? Another detail we are able to observe about Kylie Rodni's car by
All right,
watching
here.
the AWP video
All right, here it comes.
of the dive is a sticker that's on the back of her car. It's on the back central part of her car. It's a sticker of a ram. We can also notice that just a couple of her friends mentioned this sticker and precise.
I'm sorry, that wasn't synced up perfectly to when they actually showed the sticker, but here it is. All right, so here's a sticker of the ram on the back of her car.
Where it was on the back of Kylie's car, not once, but twice, but a few times in interviews. And it's just a couple of her friends. Now, this might not mean anything, or it might mean something significant. The question I ask myself is, why did these couple of friends, and only these friends, talk about this rather obscure ram sticker on the back of Kylie's car and its exact position? Were they in a position to be looking at that sticker on the back of Kylie's car? And that's why the image is burned in their mind?
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you what I think. Remember Nick, the tow truck guy who responded to Kylie's apparent roadside service call around 11 a.m. on Saturday morning when Kylie's phone had last had activity just after midnight the evening before? I personally believe that he responded to Kylie's car, and I think that Kylie was there. Now, I believe that when she was asking Nick about how to fasten her seatbelt in several different ways, and Nick says she even asked how to fasten her seatbelt to the belt itself, I personally believe that was Kylie trying to signal to him that she needed help. In my live stream the other night, Yarn and Mittens and some of my subscribers were bringing up really interesting points, theories, and questions, and we talked them through. A couple people said, what's up with this, trying to fasten her seatbelt to her actual belt? Is that a thing? And my sincere response was, no, of course that's not a thing. Kylie was calling for help, and I absolutely believe that. So, some theories that have surfaced that speculate that Nick, the tow truck driver, responded to the roadside assistance call to Kylie's vehicle, but it was not Kylie that he met there. And the person that he met there was asking him advice on how to securely fasten a strap in the CRV or a seatbelt to someone's, read Kylie's belt, so it's very secure. And that's how we know that there was foul play and she was forcefully strapped into the back of the CRV. Guys, I just think that's silliness, to be honest. I mean, who would have to ask how you use straps in the back of the car to strap an object or a person down? If they wanted to do it, it would be pretty darn obvious. You know how to tie a knot? You'd probably know how to pull that off if you really wanted to. That's just my opinion, and I've been wrong before, and I will be wrong again. So I would like to know.
Okay, so we'll leave it at that. I've been wrong before, and I will be wrong again. So I want to know about some things you guys are talking about in chat. So Elizabeth Bridges says, and hi everybody. Good night, Green Eyes. Thank you for being here. Good night, Tammy Lynn. Thank you for being here. And I saw your message about your name, so I'll be looking for your email. Elizabeth Bridges says, could they have been playing a seatbelt challenge game and things went bad? Tell me about the seatbelt challenge game. Or do you know? I don't even know what that means.
The what game? Say that again.
Seatbelt challenge game.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know what that is.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'm old. I don't know. So, Ara, what do you think?
Well, see, you just said, okay, it's silly, but maybe it isn't. Remember, Sammy talked about the belt. She says, I remember she was wearing that belt, and then she pauses. Oh, it's because yeah, I saw her take it off when we were in the woods or whatever. She talks about the belt.
Right.
I don't think it was Kylie in that car or talking to Nick, the tow truck guy, because honestly, Kylie and Kate look very similar, and I think it's possible that that Kylie was in the hatch of the vehicle already, and it was somebody else driving that car back to Prosser.
And they would have been so ballsy as to call for roadside assistance with Kylie in the back hatch.
I mean, look at what they do in the middle of the night in the woods, drinking. I mean, anything is possible at this point. I mean, look what Chris Watts did.
Well, yeah, but he's special. Yeah, that's true. But there are special people out there that do effing crazy things, man.
I think it's just one of those situations, and people messed up, and they were just trying to cover it up. Maybe they didn't do something to her, but something happened while they were all hanging out together.
I don't know, man. So DC Prime was saying you didn't think it was her either. Oh yeah, that was me. I was Scarlett. Hi, welcome, by the way. I was just playing a video that I had made the other day. So this is my channel, Watch the Obsession. Hi, welcome. And I was playing a video that I was narrating the other day when I was talking about the seatbelt and the sticker on the car. So that gets a little confusing when there's like 5 of me. And by the way, nobody's going to be splitting Utter and Nutter in half. I know that this conversation was like way long ago, but I need all of her whole. Okay. All right. That was a joke.
Yeah, please leave her alone.
don't do anything to harm her. She's precious.
Yes. Yeah, maybe something happened. A party happened. She OD'd. Yes, maybe on her own. Whatever. We don't know what happened really that night, but she laid down in the back of the car and she didn't wake up. And instead of calling the police, they try to get rid of the car. I mean, crazier things have happened.
We don't know. So DC Primetime says, I got theories. And she says, I think it was Kylie. So I personally believe, and I don't know, I personally believe this is it's just where, with all of the information that I've gathered, that I've looked at, this is where I'm at. Why exactly? I can't even tell you exactly why. I feel that tow truck guy Nick, roadside assistance Nick, whatever we're calling him these days, I feel that the person that he encountered when he responded to the call for roadside assistance, I believe it was Kylie. I believe the strange nature of that conversation that they had was Kylie's calling out for help. That's just my opinion. I mean, there's a lot of other opinions there too.
Well, wouldn't she have just told the guy help? Like, hey, I don't like something's happening.
I don't know. I mean, there have been, a lot of situations throughout history. I mean, I know that this is a method that is taught. You got a little bit of loud background noise, honey bunny. It's okay. I just want to, I said turn. Okay. It's a method that's taught in self-defense classes. If you're in the presence of somebody who might harm you and you are fortunate enough to encounter another human being, to drop these hints that are nonsensical, right? It's a self-defense method that is taught primarily to women. I know that I've taken a couple courses myself and I have been taught this method along with others. I'm not going to go into this personal story actually, but it can be a very useful method. Now, I think I've always imagined this scenario to kind of be like if a person is in your apartment with you and somebody comes to the door and you kind of crack the door open, but I'm sure that it can be played out in other scenarios. I don't know. I mean,
well, yeah, but that's different. I mean, she could have run away. The guy, the tow truck guy, could have helped her. I think it's a little different than being in your house. But think about this also. If she was alive after 12:33, after her phone pinged or her phone died, why not call her mom from this phone? Um, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. I have a
I
lot of questions.
know.
I could be wrong too, but it just
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Man, I don't know. Well, hey, let's take a look at this. I want to look at some of the subscriber theories that people have put out there. I put a couple into a little PowerPoint presentation here. Let's see. Let's call this.
I love the PowerPoints. I love them.
So here, I'm gonna have to share this with myself so then I can actually share it with you guys. So just give me 1 second here. Alrighty. All right. So which account did I meet this in? Okay, I think I see. All right. So let me see if I can pull this into the stream here. It's kind of rough. I just started making it. Well, I actually started making it last night. And when I had the computer crash, which was a very curious thing, but I don't even feel like going there right now. All right. Google Slides. Add Google Slides.
That's something I have to do. I have to be as organized as you are. You're helping me be better though. Every time I go live.
I mean, I don't know if it's as much organization as an abundance of sheer information. Yeah, it's a lot, just a lot of info. Okay, I'm going to allow that hesitantly since my computer crashed last night. Okay. All right. Allow cookies. Geez. You know what? I think I'm going to share this another way. I'm not trusting this. Hold it.
Double R said, what's the obsession? The reason she didn't ask for help was because Kylie was dead in the back seat and the girl who was wearing the hoodie was confused.
Possible. And I mean, people say things. Double R. And hi, Double R. Welcome, by the way. So glad that you're here. That is like so super fully possible, isn't it? I just don't know though. Great. Hold it. I might hold it. Stay on here, Ara. I knew I shouldn't have attempted this one. Just 1 second. I might have to hop in now. Okay.
I got you.
All right. Thank you.
I'll just read some comments.
Thank you, darling.
Gregory Word says there was a week gap between the time the roadside assistance guy made the call and noticed the poster about Kylie and conducted the talks. Yeah. So think about how his memory could have changed in a week. It's not like he just remembers a young girl with blonde hair. I also wondered if it was the same coffee shop that Kylie used to work at, but I don't know. Aaron Yarn and Mitten says Aaron and the belt was thick and looks difficult to move. Amy Hansen, when did the tow truck driver see Kylie? Was Kylie already missing at this point? See, the tow truck guy is not super clear about what day it was. He's like, hi. He says it's either Saturday or Sunday, something like the weekend.
Yeah, he didn't remember it himself. He said that the reason he remembers it is because he thought it was so strange that he called his girlfriend to talk to her about it. And she remembered because it was her father's birthday. Right?
Yeah, so think about how his memory could have been affected in a whole week.
Yeah. Right. I don't know. I have to make this big. Yeah, he doesn't, I don't know. Like, I believe him. I believe that he does not have, I believe that he is not with the intention of deceiving with what he has told, at least AWP, at least that we are privy to. Hi, MB Gal, by the way. I've been keep reading your comments there. But I do question his emotional intelligence, as we brought up, I think, last live stream. And I do also just kind of question his factual recall. So let's see. Gregory Worth said, if that was Kylie alive, the male with her could have threatened her with bodily harm if she said anything. In another interview, Doug did confirm that it was Saturday, which he had not divulged before. That's right. I did see that. And yet you're correct about that. And Gregory, I mean, that is along the lines of my thinking with what you're saying right there. I know people have other theories that are completely possible too, but I just don't know. Double R says to Ara, to make my original post clear, Kylie was dead. The girl posing as Kylie was the driver. Nick, the tow truck dude, saw her pass out in the back seat and asked if she was okay to the people that were in the front. Oh, did we? Okay.
I don't know.
No.
But yeah, there is video from the tow truck company. However, that has not been released. And you know what? That might never be released, especially if they want to rule this an accident and just make it go away, which I think is very possible.
Yeah. Now these series go a little crazy. So let me read this to you. So a subscriber says, I figured she got into an accident, hit her head, knocked herself out. She woke up in the car while it was almost filled with water, started kicking, cracked the window, hit the door window button somehow. One began to go down. She was panicking, trying to escape, had no time, wasn't thinking straight, went into the back in order for a better chance to get out. The hatch wouldn't open. So see, these series have a lot of good things to them, but just most recently, Doug said that I played this way in the beginning of this live stream, that he really strongly believes that there was not a chance that the window was knocked out after the car was submerged. Hold it. This is just a 4-minute video. I can even boil it down further. I think this is worth playing again, because I think we never even addressed this. This was the new information, from what I know at least, that Doug put out there just a couple days ago in his interview on It's a Crime and Shame. That he, with all of his experience from recovering cars in bodies of water. Whoops, hold it. Okay, yep. Well, let's just listen to what Doug says, because I'm getting a little tired. I might mince his words here. Let's not do that. Doug speaks well enough on his own.
There's just so much.
So much. All right, here we go.
Did another round of interviews, and this interview excerpt is from It's a Crime and Shame. Doug reiterated some of the same things and same ideas that he has repeated throughout a few interviews, and I think it's worthwhile to pay attention to the themes, to pay attention to the things that he repeats. Doug has also brought us some new insight.
It's obviously there's no exact science for how a vehicle reacts once it goes into water. Based on my experience, I can tell you that with a multiple windows open in a vehicle, it's not going to nosedive per se. It's going to take on water really quickly in like seconds. And if my experience, no, I find that extremely suspicious. I don't see there being that much time to do that. And then why would you pass up a window that's open and a window that's halfway down, where she's tiny? Yeah. So for me, 100% doesn't make sense, nor does where she ended up. So what do we know? What does the public know? She texted her mom at 12:33, right? Very legibly. She didn't misspell anything. She had the wherewithal, the common sense to text her mom, I'm coming home. This is a really beautiful campground, nice paved roads in and out. The road to access where she was at is a hard left turn, and it's a path, barely even a road. Once you're on this, there are huge ruts, like you're 4-wheel driving it into this location. Very hard. So this isn't a wrong turn road on the way home after having too much to drink or smoke or anything like that.
Is it a boat launch? Is it a launch?
No, it's not. It's not a boat launch. But there's paths. There's little paths along this entire lake where people can go out to the edges and have get-togethers and parties and hang out or fish or do whatever it is they want to do there.
Doug talks about the recent statement released from the Nevada County Sheriff's Office and how he feels that they're trying to push people off the case. He speculates that this is to give them time to get a handle on where exactly this case is going.
Nevada County Sheriff's Department said yesterday that they're not going to make another statement until November. So what does that say? They're trying to, for one, they're trying to back everybody off. I know the autopsy's been done. There's toxicology reports that are trickling in. So they're never going to make any type of decision without an autopsy to begin with. But I think the fact that they're wanting to push, the general public off to expecting something until November says a lot about where the case is possibly going. I think they possibly suspect there's something extra, may not necessarily be able to pinpoint it, but just giving themselves a lot of time.
Now, this is the part of the interview that really got me. Doug says that it's very uncommon for them to find a vehicle underwater that has a window broken, and he speculates the window must have been broken before the vehicle entered the water.
That's not common. That is not common. That is not common. From my
So this is the part I wanted to play. And hi, Downtown Wonder. Hi, Rosie. How are you guys doing? So I think that this was, to me, this, again, I said it in this video here. I think this was really the new information for me, the takeaway from what Doug had to say in this interview.
That has a window broken, and he speculates the window must have been broken before the vehicle entered the water.
That's not common. That is not common. That is not common from my experience. When I find vehicles upside down all the time and the windows aren't out, very, very soft bottom there. So when that vehicle rested, there's no way that window it happened from that floating down. That window, in my opinion, was out prior to the vehicle going in. But I mean, it's not 100%. Guess if it happened on land, if it was broken from the inside, there's not going to be much glass in there. I would say that if it happened on land, it was broken from the outside, there should be a lot of glass still in the vehicle. But I don't really know on that. I do know that CHP and the FBI that are investigating the car itself, they're going to do a good job now that they have the car.
I completely agree with that. I also believe that the car was broken before it went in, and it's on the same side that the side mirror is also broken. Do you think they both have something to do with each other?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because I was listening to other people theorize about that side window, and was that broken when they flipped the car over, or what? Did something happen on that side of the car, an accident, and then it went in the water?
Well, guys, because I know that this is this is kind of a tough thing to say, but I'm just going to be honest. I think we do need to question the recovery of the vehicle out of the water. I mean, AWP said it themselves. I mean, many people intuitively thought this as they saw this car being pulled out of the water. And guys, if you try to tell me you didn't think this, I don't believe many of you, because I know that you're pretty sharp. You've been around for long enough. I know this about you. They said they would have netted the windows. I mean, they're recovering a car, guys, like, trigger warning, okay? I'm just going to say that right now. They're recovering a car that they know has a young girl's body in the back of it, right? They did not net the window. They flipped it underwater without the windows being netted or secured, okay? So this is actually, if you want to know my burning anger in this case right now, and I'm kind of keeping quiet about it because I feel like it's always like I'm suspect of law enforcement and, my computer crashing and all that. But that's one of my big problems here. How in God's name did trained investigators and evidence recovery specialists not know to secure or net the windows? And the way they were handling that car as they took it out of the water, that there was that Kylie was still in there. I mean, does that strike anyone else?
Yeah, I think the fact that they told AWP to just scooch off, they could have helped with the recovery, because they do this all the time. But I understand it was an open investigation, and anything they see, could hinder an investigation. However, it was, and then they, what I didn't like about it, but I'm guilty of watching it. They lived the whole thing.
What's that? Say that again. I just didn't hear it.
They lived the whole recovery of the vehicle off the lake the whole time.
They lived the whole thing. So yes, Kevin, I think, I know the FBI was on the investigation. Do you know if they were at the recovery scene? I don't remember if I saw any. I would assume they would be, but that's just an assumption I'm making. Okay, so let's just say the answer is yes for the sake of conversations. Yes, to Ara's point, they live the whole thing, which, by the way, I think is.
It's like, imagine they living every recovery of everybody. That's weird. I mean, I watched it. I feel bad for watching it, but I couldn't not watch it.
Right. Yeah. And that's, human nature. You put that material out there, people are going to watch it. We've talked about this before, why people are attracted to this nature of true crime and whatnot. But the professional responsibility, the professional duty, due diligence, and care for the subject matter over which they have jurisdiction of, which is a crime scene investigation, and a body of a victim, or at least somebody who, a deceased child. Okay, that was all in their care, and the way it was treated, I'm sorry, was piss poor. It just was.
What is the logic behind living the recovery of the vehicle? Why would they do that? They put it on. It was on their YouTube.
I don't know. Good night, DC. I don't know.
Yeah, AWP didn't do the recovery. After, as soon as they found them, they called authorities, and then FBI and everybody came in.
They asked them to stand down.
Yeah,
and they did. And I mean, I don't know.
Well, see, Rosie, AWP, they did make a promotional video, but I mean, that's how they get money so they can help future families and recovering family members. I mean,
yeah. See, I personally, and everyone's entitled to their opinion, and that's one of the premises and the foundational theories of, or philosophies of this channel. So I'm not going to go against it, but I mean, I personally don't see any problem with them raising money. I think that the work they are doing is amazing. That's just me. So Yarn and Mitten says, I have an answer. Are you saying about the rolling of the vehicle, Yarn and Mittens? Is that what you're saying? Do you want to come up, or you want to put it in chat? Or if you have an answer, if there is an answer, yeah, I would love, here, I'm going to pop the link in chat. I would like to know what it is, because I guess what it looks like is sloppy. I might be wrong, and I will be happy to say that I'm wrong. If this investigation and the recovery of the evidence and poor Kylie's body was treated with, greater care than what I am saying right now, I'll be happy to say that I'm wrong.
And the materials that were found after, like the laptop and all that, do you believe that was her stuff?
Oh, yeah. I mean, her grandfather and father identified it, right?
Yeah. And so what do you think about law enforcement leaving it in the lake?
I think it's crap. I think it's all part of it. I mean, I think, yes, this all goes along with it. I was like, I guess, like the torch I'm carrying is for the way that the car and Kylie were recovered, but that's awful too. If that's all that there was, that's what I would be taught. But yeah, it was just all bad. It's all bad. It's all very bad.
I found a news clipping where there's a reporter that is standing by the shore and saying there's not any evidence of Kylie here at this lake. And I'm like, really? And that was like a week ago. And then I said, you want to bet?
Yeah.
It's amazing to me, honestly. I can't believe this is how it went down.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. Maybe flipped car, so not as easy to see from. Maybe they flipped the. Maybe they flipped the car so you couldn't see. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, because the silver will reflect light, and so that's why they turned it upside down, because it's bottom, so it won't reflect any light.
I still don't understand. I mean, I understand the mechanics of what you're saying, but I don't understand the why. Why?
Well, I think they're alluding to it. It was put there on purpose, and they flipped it on purpose so it wouldn't be seen from the top. So it was not an accident.
Okay. So I don't know, because that would be before the point of recovery. But Yarnaman says they flipped the car because they were worried it would cause the car roof to break up. However, AWP said the car wasn't old enough and that it's impossible. I mean, I definitely can get someone on this channel who is a I don't want, I'm like, the word that I know him to be is going to sound disrespectful in this sense, even though it's not though, but recovers vehicles. I know I can get someone on this channel in straight order, probably in the next couple of days, to speak to this, because I personally think that's BS. And we're going to find out from some experts who know better than I do, because I'm just not going to accept that answer. I'm not accepting that. No. I mean, maybe it's true, but I need to hear from somebody who knows more than me. Thank you, Yarna Mittens, though. And maybe you do know more than me, but I didn't know that to be one of your side gigs.
Well, and also there was this theory going around, which I'm kind of leaning towards, that the car was placed after law enforcement had searched the reservoir. So that's why they didn't find it. Maybe I would want to give them a little bit of credit. So I said either they didn't want her to be found, or the car was placed there after the fact, after the reservoir was cleared.
But none of that dismisses the sloppy recovery of the car.
Correct.
Yeah.
But that would just mean foul play, intended foul play, and then they were hiding the body after the fact. And we know that that area was not secured. People were going in and out of there like no problem.
Right. That's right. Yeah. I don't know.
Is the sheriff always the coroner?
No.
Okay, because Sammy Joe said that was the case there. I don't know how true that is.
I heard the coroner didn't want. Okay. So, all right. Listen. So, all right. Hold it. Follow my logic here. Okay. So, Ho Chi Winner. Hi, Ho Chi Winner. How are you? Ho Chi Winner usually contributes very sound facts and thoughts to the conversation. So, I'm going to pull this up and go with it. Ho Chi Winner says, I heard the coroner didn't want the body retrieved upside down. Okay. So, let's take a moment and let's assume that's true, right? Gosh, there's no delicate way of saying this. So please excuse me, trigger warning. And I'm sorry if there's any lack of grace that I'm using in explaining this. I don't really know how. So there's a body in a car in a body of water. Okay. So what must be true for this statement to be true? Ho Chi Winner says, I heard the coroner didn't want the body retrieved upside down. If it is true that the coroner did not want the body to be retrieved upside down, that implies that the coroner must have had a degree of certainty how the body was going to be situated in that car when the car started moving in water, which is by nature fluid, right?
Right.
So that, to me, would almost necessarily indicate that the body was in some way secured.
Yeah. Which goes with the belt theory.
Or another theory, because that whole belt thing is really weird to me. But maybe it just, but maybe the belt theory somehow strapped in. Let me bring up Yarn and Mittens really quick. Or maybe not really quick, maybe. But hi, Yarn and Mittens. How are you, my friend?
Hey there.
What up, Yarn and Mittens? Oh,
okay.
yeah.
I had to find my mute button. Okay, so here is what I learned in regards to flipping the car over. So apparently, can you hear me?
Yes.
So apparently in older cars, when you flip it, the roof will disintegrate, completely fall apart, and create all kinds of disasters. But AWP explained that only happens in older cars, and that was what they were using as the excuse for why they had to flip it, was due to if they didn't flip it, that the roof of the car wouldn't be able to handle being dragged out, would disintegrate, break apart, and possibly cause damage to the body, and would lose everything that was in the car. So then you may
they were
say,
paying attention to losing everything that was in the car. Why didn't they net the windows? Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay. So to the next question, you did exactly what everybody else did. And the question was posed, well, they didn't net or screen the windows regardless. And the answer to that was to the public. And apparently there is video of this. I have not seen it, but I've been assured it's out there, that they shared the FBI was going to collect what fell out of the car, and they were going to bring it in and document it as evidence. But we all know that did not, in fact, happen.
Right.
Not only were we told that it would, but we were told that it was. So those are the two hard answers.
Okay. Well, I mean, here's the problem with this. So this is just from being somebody who, has been, following true crime my whole life, has dabbled in some legal things like falling or dropping out of law school or leaving law school, we call it that, and so just some other things. One thing that we know is, okay, at the time when they were taking that vehicle out of the water, they knew that Keily was in that vehicle. They also did not know, by all accounts, where was the scene of the crime? What was the environment that a possible crime was committed in? We have a 16-year-old girl who has lost her life. we don't know if this. I'm getting a lot of feedback from somebody. If you could just mute for a second or something. So, if we don't know if this was a tragic accident or a nefarious, malicious, malintended crime, could you guys mute? I'm getting like a lot of feedback. Okay. And so one of law enforcement's first priorities is preserving the crime scene and the environment in which a crime was committed. Anybody who's close to the law enforcement community, if you want to tell me I'm wrong, go ahead and tell me I'm wrong. But I feel very strongly that is the case. So why would they want to allow evidence in a possible murder of a 16-year-old girl to just haphazardly spill out of the unnetted screened windows? That is just a load of bullshit. Seriously?
Yeah, or some people can say lack of training because they don't do this often.
Well, then they should have let AWP continue to do what they do well, but they didn't. So hindsight's 2020.
Well, AWP said that there was nothing wrong with their equipment. They looked over the sonar equipment. There was nothing wrong with it. It was up to date. It was no different than actually what they had. The problem is man hours. Nothing can replace experience.
Right.
And that's in anything that we do. I mean, if you find out you have stage 4 cancer, God forbid, do you want somebody newly out of med school, or do you want somebody who's done, 20 years of study in that specific type of cancer that you have? Experience talks.
I would agree with that if the car was in the middle of the reservoir where it was 40 feet, but it was 14 feet into the reservoir off the shore, 55 yards, y'all. 55 yards.
But we're talking about specifics as they come to removal of the car, and whether or not the roof of a car will disintegrate and other types of damage. You're talking about specific information that really would require experience to know how a car acts after 20 years in the water versus 2 weeks in the water. So,
well, see, I was commenting towards you talking about the sonar and the equipment and the experience. I assumed you were speaking about
I'm
them
looking
finding
at
the car.
the whole big picture. I honestly think that AWP could have served their purpose, play on words, for more than what they actually did. I think that many people have said they're not forensic specialists, especially who is this Fisher guy that everybody's been talking about? He's not a forensic specialist. Well, they don't need to have a specialty in forensics. We're dealing with a vehicle and all the circumstances surrounding that vehicle that can carry over justice to the girl's body that's in it. And I think that they really could have used them for a lot more than what they did. Not to mention, look at the man hours they racked up, 19,000. Somebody, we're paying for that. And AWP isn't getting paid for any of this. Not to mention, as far as I know, they haven't received the reward money, which I think is a disgrace. Just my humble opinion.
I agree.
But I'm looking at the whole picture, DC. I think there are a lot of agendas and a lot of politics involved where they shouldn't be. And Sammy's parents, or at least one of them, the mother is an attorney. We've got these kids who have cops for parents. You've got a lot of people in places where they can affect the mother and her opinion and the things that she's thinking and saying and her behaviors. The same with Jagger, a young, impressionable teenage kid who I think is not guilty of much more than just being a jerk. He's young, he's stupid. Boys mature much slower than females do. He's emotional, he's heartbroken. You remember your first love and all the drama that went with that. And I think that there's a lot more going on here than just, this simple point of view.
Okay, so wait, so what is the simple point of view that we're trying to move away from? I lost a little sight of that, sorry.
the simple points of view of whether or not, was it Sammy and Jagger, and were they the ones that were there, and we're trying to figure out, if they're the guilty parties. And
so what factors play into determining who may be responsible for anywhere from committing an egregious crime to just shady behavior to failure to report? So what are the nuances that are missing in the analysis?
So when I started out, you started out in the field of law, and I started out with medical. And Occam's razor has been around forever. And the most simple is a lot of the times, not all the time, but a lot of the times, your answer. And the one thing that I can't get past is, let's say that Kylie's alive, and let's just say that Jagger is with her. Let's just say, now we're taking it to someone has to have a reason to murder this child. And what kind of a reason could you have that would be this heinous? We know the Watts case inside and out. There's a big difference between adults and children. So I can't really figure that out. But when we get closer to their kids, they're stupid. They do stupid things. I think that it very well could have been an accident. Did she OD? Did she have alcohol poisoning? And the kids got scared. They didn't know what to do with it. And so, they took it into a felony when it didn't need to be that way. I don't know. That seems to me to be an easier path than the more egregious types of dark thoughts that we all have had and are having. What do you think?
Well, let me just say, so I think the whole idea of Occam's razor is very valid, and it's an accurate point. It's something we always, I think, need to consider when we are problem solving or trying to decide on matters like this. But my understanding of Occam's razor is not only to take the simplest explanation, but when trying to understand something, you're also trying to get to getting extraneous information or eliminating extraneous information is kind of part of that analysis. So I do agree, and this might be getting a little kind of philosophy, but I don't know what we're doing here. I do agree that we want to try to find the simplest solution without, making things contrived or making up facts of our own. But I also think taking extraneous information, we also have to be aware of taking extraneous information into account. Does that make sense?
It does, and I can make it a little bit more plain. You and I both have something in common that unites us almost as sisters. We both have lupus.
That's true.
And when I went in for my diagnoses, I didn't accept it very well. And I tried to use my very little bit of medical knowledge that I had at the doctor regarding Occam's razor. And he said to me, I'm going to put it to you simply. When you hear hoof beats, you need to think about a horse, not a zebra. And it really simplifies it. It's not necessarily extraneous information. It's just considering how far you have to reach, even keeping it close to home, right?
Okay.
So I think that that's the beauty of what these channels bring, and what we do here is that we do take the contrived, we do take the egregious, we do take the less sinister. Tonight, somebody mentioned suicide, which I haven't seen that mentioned in a few days now, and that was covered in a day. It was interesting to listen to some of the answers, but my point being that that's what we do here, and that's the beauty of what we do. It's a safe place to come and talk all those things out.
On What's the Obsession, at least.
Well, absolutely.
This is the thing, and this is the thing. I want to believe it's an accident. That is the easy answer.
Right.
That's what makes most sense. That's what we call the narrative. However, there are many cases that I know we all have collectively watched and listened to And to be quite honest, this is one of the very few cases, such as the Watts, when we are given a solution to something or an answer, it really just it gives me more questions.
It gives
and
way to more questions.
I can't help that about myself. And again, we've seen so many other
No.
cases, but again, it's just a couple that stick to me that just make me ask, wait, but then why? It's my inquisitive mind that just, I'm not satisfied with it just being an accident, because everything is put out there for us. All the interviews are out there. All the puzzle pieces are there.
DC, I don't want you to stop doing that. That's what makes you you.
This is Ara, by the way, up here. We got
I'm
Ara
sorry.
and Yarn and Mittens.
Why do I get them
and
confused?
Kelly
I do
from
it all
Lost
the time.
Obsession. It's all right.
But they both
Good
remind me,
girls.
both of them drive and drive and drive and really take it home and make me think. At the end of the day, after I have thought something pretty well thought out, or so I thought, I'm rethinking it again after hearing them talk.
Absolutely. Smart girls.
I
Women,
like
smart
that
women.
about them, right?
I don't want to just believe everybody, all these kids are horrible and whatever. It's just that it just makes me think, what happened that night? Why did her friends fail her? I'm not mad at the police as much as what could have been different that night? What could have Sammy done? What could have Mom done? I mean, I don't know. It's just, it's interesting, and we don't have a lot of answers. And are the answers for us? Maybe not, but it's out there. So I like talking about it.
Yeah. So
as a mother, I'd like to know why Kylie had keys, period.
Well, she was an
I would like
independent
to know-
young lady. She had a snowmobile at the lodge.
She shouldn't have had keys on her when she's going to a party where
Drinking.
it's called a drinking party.
Yeah. Well, let me read a couple of the comments here. So we have Paula, and welcome, Paula. Thank you for being here. Welcome to Watch the Obsession Chat. I'm Kylie Riley. She says, I believe it was an accident. Sad that with hundreds of kids there and nobody chose to intervene. Is this wasted girl driving? At least that we're aware of. Yeah, and the guys from AWP have said it. I think that anybody who can kind of envision Kylie at this party with all of these people, knowing that she had personal connections to at least some of the people were there. Listen, you know more than you've told law enforcement, and you need to tell law enforcement what you know, and you should have done it yesterday, but you've got to do the right thing and do it now. Because if law enforcement has not figured this all out, I've got to believe that it's those people that were at that party that have the key to the truth.
Mm-hmm.
If it was an accident, oh, dang, that car just went into the water. Somebody call 911. Like, it just seems very far off that this happened and no one saw it. I don't know.
Somebody knows. Yeah, somebody knows. Yep. Are you leaving, Esther G? Good night. Good night if you are. I think she was saying good night.
I don't think the car went in the water Friday. I think it went in the Saturday.
Yeah, I think it did too. Yeah. Nilda says, it's near her curfew. Let's see. Oh, no, you're saying it never had a curfew. Nilda says, let me read this comment. I never had a curfew. My folks trusted me, yet they guided me to not just do what you want. Seems Mom did not care. Sorry, but I'm disgusted by Mom. I'll speak from some personal experience. I know that my parents trusted me like crazy when I was in high school. I was the president of the National Honor Society. I got straight A's. I was an overachiever kind of high schooler. I know. Can't believe it. I know. I was. Now, I remember there was one time I must have been around Kylie's age. I know I drove my car because I drove my car home. There was a party planned to be out of the woods. It was near one of my friend's house. I live in upstate New York, lots of woods. We have parties like this. They're in California, lucky them. I'm in upstate New York. So I just got this bad feeling. Not a bad feeling like, I don't want to be here. A bad feeling like, I think this is going to get busted. And my dad being the assistant district attorney, my mom being the tough person that she is, that ain't going to look good for me if I'm here when it happens. So I went home. So my parents get a call at 2:00 in the morning, telling them that their daughter is at this party that just got busted up, a big drinking party. And they're like, no, she's here. My dad comes busting in my room. There I am laying in bed. I'm like, oh my God, I knew this was going to happen. You know what I mean? The point is, they trusted me with the keys at 16. My parents were extremely responsible. They were even strict. You know, I things like that I just think do happen. That's all I'm saying.
I was the same way. I would drive to the island. I was 45 minutes away from my house. I was 16. I had a job. I worked as a lifeguard. I mean, everyone's home life is different, I think. For a while, I believe maybe Kylie was supposed to be the DD. She was a 3-year graduate. She just seemed a little bit more mature and responsible. Maybe they wanted her to drive them to the party and back, and something happened, an accident happened, and she was unable to drive them home. And then we don't know after that.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Elizabeth G is hitting on you, by the way.
Thanks, Elizabeth G. Thank you, darling. I'll take it. I'll take the hit on. You guys are so sweet. I don't know, guys. You know, every time it's more questions than answers. If there's a piece of information that we would want to review before calling it a night, because I do have to, you know, get up for work early in the morning, what would that be? Is there anything that anybody wants to see or hear again? Because you really want to, like, you know, get a grip on it, or?
I mean, I'm good, but I don't know about Miss Joan over here. I just hear bunny feet in the back.
There's bunny noises all the time. We got 31 bunnies in this place.
Wow.
I raise Holland Lops.
How many do you sell a year?
We home, you know, I'm really slowing down with it. I've been doing more. We also put bunnies as like emotional therapy bunnies in nursing homes and special education programs and stuff. I just want to give this like little disclaimer. When we do home bunnies, I don't just like sell them like, here's a bunny for a check. I always require references and like reserve the right to do a home check and all kinds of things, because I don't feel comfortable giving a living thing to some, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I just want to say that. But here, wait, I'll get a cute bunny for you guys to check out.
Oh, good.
Kelly, I'm gonna hop down. Y'all. Oh, I know she didn't hear me, but I'm gonna hop down and I'll be here in the chat. And thank you guys. Thank you all for listening to my weird theories.
They're not
Thank
weird.
you, Joan.
They're not weird at all.
Y'all have a good night. I'll be in the chat.
Oh no, you're not gonna come with me. You're not feeling it. Okay, I'll put you back. No, she won't feeling it. Come here. Come with me. All right, sorry guys. You'll come in next time. I promise. Now, I just got to say, all 31 bunnies aren't like sitting right here, but some of them are.
Oh, are they beautiful? Wow.
This one's really sweet. So she's, hi, baby.
Oh,
hi, baby.
my goodness. Look at her feet. Oh, my goodness.
Look at my big jumper. And look at my blue eyes.
Cute.
This one's like very, very sweet. If she's just
Ellie,
like,
she's gorgeous.
If she's just like hopping, sometimes, you know, we let them get exercise and they're like litter box trained and stuff. So she's just like hopping around. She'll come and like hop up.
How long do they live?
They live, if they're domestic and they're treated well, they can live anywhere. They're like, it would be like 8 to 10 years. Obviously out in the wild, everything wants a bunny for dinner. I'm sorry, close your earmuffs. But you know,
are they hypoallergenic?
They say they're hypoallergenic. The thing though is they have to have Timothy hay. They eat a lot of hay, so the allergens will come with the hay.
Tell me what to look up. I want to do some research. Tell me. I lost my baby 2 years ago.
Oh, Holland Lop rabbits. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
She's beautiful.
If you want a central hop Holland Lop, we'll figure out a way to get one to you.
She is.
We have a lot.
beautiful.
Yes, you could even have a free bunny. I need my space back.
No, I'm gonna look them up. I've been waiting for 2 years trying to think of what to do because I can't do a dog again with my health issues.
Yeah.
And she's gorgeous. My goodness.
Yeah, she's a special little girl. Yeah. Bunny cameo. That's right, Gregory. A bunny cameo.
So I love those feet. I can't get over them.
She got my big thumper. Still show my private parts. Okay, I won't. So now, guys, we didn't get to some of the subscriber theories that I have a whole little PowerPoint presentation, or I've just put some subscriber theories that I thought were great into a PowerPoint. We'll do that next time we touch upon the Kylie Rodni case, because I'm going to have to get going because I do have to get up early in the morning for work. It's almost midnight here, and I get up usually around 5:30. So I do have to get running, but thank you guys so much for being
Okay,
part
Kelly,
of the
I'll
conversation.
go ahead and bump down from here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Yarn Minutes, for being up here and for everything. You guys are wonderful. And thank you, DC Primetime. Thank you, Jennifer Bradley. Thank you, RR. Joan, I know you were trying to get up here earlier. I'm sorry you never came up on panel. You're always welcome to. And Utter Nutter. Thank you, Nancy N. Gosh, I don't even know who else is here. All of you guys are amazing. I'm looking like Nilda, Muck Boys, Elizabeth, Sharon, everybody. You guys are all so awesome. My friend, John McSmith. He used to be my friend, my nemesis, but now he's just my friend. Tony, my sweet empathic buddy. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for having this conversation respectfully. Rosie, hi. I said hi to you earlier, and it's always wonderful when you can stop in, sweetheart. I hope you're getting those notifications. So just so you know, Thursday evening is Chris Watts, former mistress, Alibi of Lies, part 2. So that's the Alibi of Lies. And the Sunday and Monday, the eve of the murders and the day of the murders, August 12th and August 13th. We still have a lot to uncover. The last live stream when we did the Alibi of Lies was a pretty lively one. Lee RD, I expect you'll be back because we've got some follow-up on that too. So that'll be Thursday evening, 9 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. And thank you guys all so much for being here. Anyone want a bunny? Let me know if you want a bunny. I got a lot of bunnies. Don't worry, not you. You're my baby. So, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Much love to everybody. Please stay safe. Make good choices. If you see something, say something. Take care of yourself and your loved ones and just the people around you in general. All right. Good night, guys.